So if you haven't already discovered the BB box, it's one of the best blues guitar tricks, I suppose, or scale patterns that you can learn. It's really useful, and all the classic blues players like Freddie King, Albert King, BB King of course, Otis Rush, those kind of players, Buddy Guy, Clapton, think of any good blues player and they'll have used the BB box extensively. Someone like Freddie King will do a whole solo just using the BB box, and it's just so effective. Anyway, what it is it's called BB because of BB King, obviously. What would you do if you take an example key of A, then an A blues, these kind of chords involved. You probably already know the A blues scale. Well, that works really well, and that's the one that most people learn first. But the BB box is where you take the A note, put it onto the second string, which is here, with your first finger. That's the important part. And you've got a group of notes from the blues scale here, which look like this. And you mainly want to use those, but you can sort of descend slightly. You can use that one, and you could go to here, but most people wouldn't really get down as far as here. It would really just be. And there's little sort of tricks you can do with it. One thing which works really well is to replace this note with this note. Now that one is the 7, the flat 7 it's called, in the key. This is the 6. And when you replace the 7 with the 6 in blues, you just get a slightly more melodic sound. Players like Robin Ford do this, and it's really effective. And BB King used to do it a lot. So I could play a little phrase like, for example, and because it's BB, we need to do a lot of this vibrato. Or do a slightly different one. Another one. I could go on forever, just playing little phrases using those notes. Or it probably doesn't sound that impressive on its own, but try it over a blues and it's just brilliant. And one sort of little tip, that's something that I think works particularly well, is when you're playing the blues, when you go to the 4 chord, which in the key of A would be a D, D9 or D7, when you go to the D, jump up to the BB box at that point, and that's really effective. So you could be playing a blues in A, playing in this position to begin with. D. Then back down. And then to the E and so on. But in particular over the D chord, the 4 chord, this works well, which I suppose it would do because it's kind of in the D sort of position where the D bar chord would be, D7. But that's really effective, and there's a lot you can do with it. So yeah, experiment with that, and the main thing to do is to not worry about repeating notes and things too often, because that's the whole point of it. You keep playing these same few notes over and over again, and it's effective because the chord changes underneath and you're playing the same notes, and so the notes sound interesting because of that. So don't worry about trying to avoid repeating. You just keep repeating the same notes. Hope that that works for you, and if you like this video, please click like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and there'll be more blues lesson videos to come. Okay, thanks.